Good morning.
Good morning. How's your dad?
I don't know. I was just about ready to call and check. You're up awfully early.
Yeah, I didn't have that great a night. You?
Slept a couple hours.
You know, I kept dreaming about all the telephone calls you had to make. Did you get all that stuff done?
No, a lot of it. Want to come in?
Yeah.
Look, Cruz, I had to do it. For my father, for the business.
Oh, hell, I know you did. Come here. I'm not mad, baby. I just missed you like crazy.
I missed you, too. Just when you left that hospital, all I could think about was great. We're back to square one now. That's all.
Yeah, I did too for a minute, but then I realized I was just being selfish. This is probably the worst time you're ever going to have to go through, and I don't want to make things harder on you. I do want to protect you and love you.
I really need that now.
Well, you got it. Don't forget. Oh, baby, don't look like that.
It's just that everything's changing so fast. I'm so afraid I'm gonna lose myself, and I'm gonna lose you in the process. I want you to hang on to me. I like us just the way we are.
Morning. Oh, good morning. I thought that was you. I just couldn't understand why anyone would be up this early.
Neither could I. Lionel left about a half hour ago, and he left me this note. Listen to this. My dearest, try to understand that I have to see Brandon because, in a sense, I'll be seeing him for the first time. Overnight, we've been presented with a grandson, and I have to get to know him. Love.
Look, I understand how Lionel feels. I do. I'm just not sure I understand how you feel.
I've never been so unhappy about anything, Julia.
Augusta, try. Just try to put yourself in Lionel's place.
I can't do that.
You know, I think the only thing that would keep Lionel from wanting to see Brandon right now is if he were on the other side of the world.
You're right. That would be a deterrent, possibly an insurmountable obstacle.
Now, hold on a second.
Julia, there are some times when you do justify your existence, and this is one of them. I have to get busy.
No, Christy. Don't shoot him. Please, don't do it! No!
Tim, wake up.
What? What's the matter?
You were having a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember it? Huh?
Yeah. It was ugly. I don't want to think about it.
What?
Did I say anything? Talk in my sleep.
You were mumbling. I couldn't make out what you were saying.
Okay. Thanks for waking me up.
Do you want to talk about it? You dream in your head. Come on, you know you can trust me.
Yeah, I know.
Huh? Then what was it? Anything you say is going to be safe with me.
No, it wasn't that, all right? I was just... What time is it?
A little after 6.
Oh, shoot, I gotta get dressed up in the hospital. I want to see Dad. You can just go back to sleep.
Well, will you call me later then?
Yeah. Of course. You just go back to sleep, okay?
Yes, I'd like a report on my father's condition. Yes, I'll hold on.
How's CC?
Edie's checking right now.
Hope he's okay. That was pretty rough last night.
Yes, I'm waiting. Yes,
You calling the hospital?
Yes, I am. They said I have to talk to the doctors, but they've got to find the doctors first.
They're not
That's
telling
the
you
tr-
anything?
Well, I don't know. Nick's here. Why don't you say hello?
How you doing?
Good morning.
Before us stand the two most beautiful women in the world.
Yes, but we dare not let them know.
I have a sneaking suspicion they do already.
Yes,
No, it's a real
doctor.
shame they have to be going through all this.
This is Brandon Capwell. I'd like to know how my father's
When are you
doing.
two going to get married?
Well, sometime soon, I
Close.
hope. Which reminds me, my man, you
Well,
never did
he
get too
doesn't have
specific
fever.
about what
That's
happened
good,
with
isn't
you and Kelly those 3 weeks you were alone together.
Let
Do
me
you like
ask you a
talking about it
question.
now?
Can he
What
hear
can I tell
anything?
you? I think they were 3 of the most beautiful weeks of my entire life. I've never been
What
so
does that
close to
mean?
anybody. She gave me a whole new life.
Yes.
And I thought I'd gotten her over Joe, too, but when her memory came back, it all kind of fell apart. But we're making progress again. And I told you I'm not going to give up on this.
That's good.
Great.
Lionel Lockridge, I told you that he was not allowed to see my father. Well, I'm just going to come down there and take care of this right away. Goodbye.
What?
Well, Daddy's condition is stabilized. He's much better.
Well, that's good.
But he's still on the critical list. But he's doing okay.
That's great.
But Lionel Lockridge is there, and I don't want him getting in and bothering Daddy. I want to go down there and take care of this. I cannot believe.
All right, I'll go with you. Let me go get dressed.
All right.
okay?
Well, I'll go get my car keys, and I'll meet you back here. all
Okay.
right?
Nick, you want to come with us?
Sure, I'm glad your dad's holding his own.
Oh, man, you don't know how relieved I am. Listen, I'm going to go upstairs. Hi, Cruz. I'll be right back.
Hi. Thank you.
Well, how about that? Kelly likes to have me around at least. That's a step in the right direction, wouldn't you say?
Yes, it is. I think you keep taking steps like that, you're probably going to get up to the altar before Eden and I make it.
Wouldn't that be... I would love that to happen. Say, tell me, would you be my best man at the wedding?
Sure, I guess. Yeah. It'd give me a chance to get even.
Excuse me, nurse. Can you tell me about C.C. Capwell's condition?
He's still listed as critical, but he made it through the night, so we're hopeful.
Is there any chance that I could see him? It's very important.
Oh, no, sir. Mr. Capwell is resting. He cannot be disturbed.
Gina, have you talked to the doctors about C.C.'s condition? I've only been able to talk to the nurse.
Well, I'm kind of surprised you even care about his condition after what he tried to do to you.
And of course I care. I mean, what happens to C.C. has a decided effect on Channing's son.
I guess it's kind of a pity you never got to meet Channing. Well, maybe it's not. From what I understand, he was hard to be proud of.
C.C. was proud of him, wasn't he?
Well, I imagine even crocodiles are proud of their offspring when they truly believe they are their offspring. Lionel, you shouldn't be here. You should go home.
Gina, wait. Just... I don't know a great deal about your past, Gina. But from what I've heard, C.C. Capwell treated you as if you were his personal plaything for most of your married life.
Lionel, what do you know about my marriage? What do you know about me at all?
I know that C.C. arranged for you and your late husband to adopt Brandon. I know that he arranged for you to marry him in order to control Brandon. I suspect there was very little in your married life that was done out of love, and that must have hurt you a lot.
So what else do you know about me?
Some of it's gossip, some of it's things that I suspect. I feel that you probably tried to get him to love you, did everything you could, and may have succeeded if Sophia had not come back into the picture.
I almost did.
Yes, if he hadn't installed her in the guest house and picked up with her again right on your very nose. It must have made you feel something like a concubine. But then, of course, C.C. has never been famous for being sensitive to people's feelings, has he?
No, he hasn't. You're right about that. And that is how I felt. There was not one person in that house that was a friend to me. Mason was. Ted was kind at first. And then everything changed when his mother came back into the picture. I was insulted, ignored, and pushed aside. All I really wanted was to marry C.C. I wanted so much to make him happy. I just never had a chance.
I'm sorry, believe me.
You know, Lionel, maybe I misjudged you, huh?
Some people do. I've had a lot of bad press.
And now Santana and Cece and Sophia, they all want to take my little boy away from me. But I couldn't bear that. I can't have any more children. So Brandon is even more precious to me than ever.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
They want to throw me out of the house now. Eden told me that last night. She said, a few more days and they'll be rid of me. Can you imagine saying that to somebody's face? They're not going to get rid of me that easily. And they'll never take my little boy away from me. Lionel, I've done a lot of things to survive that I'm not proud of. But I know when I'm with Brandon, I'm a good person. And I'm a very good mother. And I know that I'm important to at least one person. Because he needs me and he wants me.
Wonderful. Reduce them to tears and then comfort them.
The Walton Hotel merger is supposed to go just as planned. No, it's not supposed to change because of what happened to my father. Because I have power of attorney, that's why. I also am authorized to negotiate if I have to. Yes, well, we worked up a figure. Yeah, I have it here right now. Well, they're going to want to try to renegotiate, and I'm not willing to do that. I'm sticking to these figures now. Are you ready to take this down?
She's quite a lady. In spite of all the trials she's been through, she's taking a firm grip on the company. I must say, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, she is very impressive, isn't she?
Really amazing for somebody that young.
Yeah. She's as good as any man I've met, which she probably wouldn't take as such a hot compliment, but I meant it as such.
I agree. I must tell you, though, she's going to need a lot of help. And this is a very complicated deal, this merger with the Walton hotel chain. And now they think with Cece out of the way, they can scuttle the whole business. I know she knows that Cece doesn't want to do it, so she's going to push it through. You want to be very proud of her.
Yeah, I am. Hi.
How'd it go?
Well, they want us to sweeten the takeover. Putting a lot of pressure on us. But Daddy wouldn't do it, so I'm not going to. I'm sorry this took so long.
No problem. Listen, Eden, I think you and I ought to talk over a little strategy. There are a few fine points that I think ought to fill you in on. And, well, to tell you the truth, we ought to settle on some fallback plan just in case we need one.
Oh, all right. Well, then why don't we go out there and talk where it's more quiet?
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Oh, Cruz, I'm really sorry, but this is truly confidential stuff, so we'd better talk alone. Is that okay?
Well, you think I'm spying for the competition, John?
I'm sorry. Look, this will bore you anyway. Just give us a fast 10 minutes, all right?
Maybe 15.
Okay, 15 minutes, and then you and I will go someplace, all right?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Now, do you think we should fly to New York and discuss all this negotiation?
Lakin? Look, honey, I don't want to pry, but... Hey, Lakin. It's me, Julia.
Oh, Aunt Julia, I'm sorry.
No problem. I can see that you have one, though, and I thought you might want to talk. You know, sometimes aunts are easier to talk to than mothers.
No, it's nothing. I'm probably just imagining all this. I mean, everybody's had so much going on. Everyone's been so upset lately.
I want to tell you something. I think it was absolutely wonderful how you stood by Ted all through the trial, even though your parents didn't think it was a good idea. I hope he realizes what a treasure you are.
Until a few days ago, I was sure that he did. Now I don't know.
What's the matter? Something happened between the two of you?
No, nothing. I just wish he trusted me.
I shouldn't ask this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Does this have something to do with Christy's case?
No. Not exactly. I mean, actually, I'm not even sure what I'm talking about, so I shouldn't be saying anything at all.
Lakin, do you know that I'm going to be representing Christy if there are charges brought up against her?
No, are they going to?
Well, we hope not, but we're going to be prepared anyway. Did Ted, did he ever talk about any of this with you?
No. He hasn't wanted to talk about it. That's what bothers me so much. Up until now, he's always wanted to tell me everything, and now all of a sudden he...
All of a sudden, what?
Nothing, nothing. Aunt Julia, I did not say anything, okay?
Sure.
Augusta, here. Augusta, please.
Well, don't you want to bend Gina's ear a bit more? It's such a wonderful conversation with her.
I just want a better explanation of why you didn't tell me about Channing and Brandon. I mean, that's not a secret that you keep from your husband.
Channing's dead. He's been dead for a long time. I feel like you have never been involved with him emotionally or financially. Why do you want to resurrect a relationship that you never even had to begin with?
I had the relationship in a sense that it existed. Augusta, we're not talking about a tree that falls from the forest. We're talking about a son that I never knew I had.
I never will have now. You've got enough to deal with your own family. Why do you have to worry about Channing and the Capwells affairs?
Augusta, none of this changes the fact that you should have told me about it sooner. A lot of this agony and grief could have been avoided. Who knows? Cece might not even be in there now if you had told me.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I made a bad decision. I seem to have a genius for doing that sometimes.
Yes, indeed. And overwhelming pride in it sometimes, too. Excuse me, I gotta tell you. Santana.
Yes?
I don't suppose that anybody has considered what an ordeal this has been for you. I just hope you're bearing up.
I'm just fine.
You and I have something in common now. Channing was my flesh and blood. It gives us a kind of special rapport, perhaps.
Does it?
Santana, I know that you hate Channing for everything he did to you. But try to remember that he may have been a result of Cece's upbringing.
Yes, and we know how proud he made his father, don't we? It was Channing's idea that I give my son. Did you know that?
No. I guess he didn't want to disappoint his father.
No, I'm sure you're right. You see, Cece didn't want a Mexican wife for his son, or a little half-breed child running around that he had to keep explaining away.
That's a very harsh way to put it. Try not to hate Channing for it, though. I'm sure it's as if he were programmed to do that kind of thing.
I'm sorry, I can't forgive him on that basis.
Oh, I'm not asking for that. I suppose I'm just asking you not to hate him. Hate is such a destructive, terrible emotion. And look what it did to Channing and Cece. I know that for you, this must have been tougher, and you probably have more reason to be angry than anybody else around.
I'm glad someone understands that.
You were forced to give Brandon away. I can only imagine the longing and the pain that you must have felt having to give Brandon away.
It has been awful, Lionel. I really don't think I could describe it to you. And there aren't very many people I can talk to.
Do you have a picture of it?
Yes. I have a snapshot that I took a couple of weeks ago. You're welcome to it. I have more of them at home.
Thank you. There's a lot of his mother in it. And something of Sophia. You think he has a little bit of my chin?
Well, maybe a little.
There's nothing of C.C. Capwell that I can see. I want to get to know this little fella.
You had no right to tell Lionel everything.
No right? Keeping the truth from people, that's what's hurting them. I'm sick of lies and distortion. If I can, I'll stop it. Don't you think we all need a little house cleaning?
Naturally, so you had to start with mine. What was wrong with your own? Not enough dirt there?
Augusta, I don't know why you're so angry. You're the one who told me about Lionel and Channing in the first place. All I did was repeat it to Mason. You're angry because you wanted to spread the news yourself.
That is a lie.
I don't care who knows what. All I care about is protecting my relationship with my son and keeping him with me. Everybody's trying to take everything from us, and I won't let that happen.
Oh, well, that's fine. Why don't you keep him? Why did you keep him in a tower a million miles away? I wish you would do that. Why are you staying in Santa Barbara? There can't be any pleasant memories for you here. You've lost your sister. No one likes you or trusts you. No matter what you do, you're not going to be accepted socially. Can you really point to a friend you have any confidence in? Why don't you just leave and go somewhere where you'll forget all this?
Because I don't want to make those people happy. And I don't give up easily.
What are you trying to prove? Is it money? Is it a question of money? Look, Gina, maybe I can help you there. I'm very flexible that way. Is there something I can do?
Augusta, you don't understand. Nobody understands. I am tired of being pushed around. I have earned a right to live in that house, to tell Rosa what to cook for dinner, to have charge cars, to throw parties. I am Mrs. C.C. Capwell, and my son is Brandon Capwell. And I won't let anybody take away what's entitled to us.
I'm really sure that Brandon doesn't care who makes up his menus or who feeds him as long as he gets fed.
Not now, maybe. Someday he will.
Oh, sure. When he's learned lots of false values and he has turned to some kind of snob like Channing was. You know, I've decided something. Children shouldn't be brought up in wealthy families because they just lose all their initiative.
But at least they have security. That's what I want for my son, security, something I never had, but he's going to have it. Augusta, don't try to manipulate me. I have finally learned how to defend myself, and I will not be bullied around anymore.
All right to come in for a few minutes?
Yes, but you mustn't stay too long.
All right. The doctors know whether or not he can hear what we say?
No, not really. Remember, he's very weak.
Yes, I will. CC, I've got to hand it to you. You got an extraordinary daughter and going to make a fine executive out of her in no time at all. I think she is finally beginning to realize what a big job she's taken on trying to fill your shoes, but it's going to be exciting seeing her trying to get into them. The main thing is, CC, I want you not to worry about a thing. We're going to turn Capwell Enterprises back to you in better shape than you gave it to us. If anybody can do it, Eden and I can. All right? Don't worry about her getting married and running off and leaving the company. I'll make sure she stays on the right path. She's such a beautiful girl, CC. You have a right to be proud of her. Any man would be. I feel very fortunate that I'm getting to work with her. I saw you two talking to the nurse. Did the doctor tell her anything new?
She said that his condition has stabilized, that there's going to be some paralysis, at least for a while.
Don't worry.
Any idea about how soon he'll be able to recover?
She said there are no predictions. I don't know. We have to just wait and see, you know. Look, I think that I should get back to the office. I have some work. Would you give me a drive?
Eden, I just remembered I have to talk to you about something. Excuse us for just a second, one, Jack. Good buddy. Sweetheart, if you recall, we had plans to take lunch together in private.
Cruz, look, I have had a million things to do, and I have a million other things waiting in line.
Nothing that can't wait for a couple of hours, I'm sure. Listen, Jack, I'm taking Eden with me. It was good to see you again, man.
Ingrid, get me Drew Darren in Washington, D.C., will you? Yeah, hello. Oh, I'm fine. How are you? Yes, listen, I'm calling about that extradition case we were discussing. The man in Mississippi is being sent back here to Santa Barbara for trial, right? Yeah, look, listen. I want you to arrange for Cruz Castillo to bring him back. That's Castillo. Well, no, he works for the Santa Barbara Police Department. And he is the perfect man for the job. No one else, as a matter of fact, should get the job. No, it'll do him good to get away for a little while, you know. That's right. That's right. All right, I appreciate this, Drew. I owe you one. Thanks.
Look, will this get me the job?
Either that or a proposal of marriage.
I don't think marrying Mr. Jenkins will give me quite the same satisfaction as working for him.
Don't worry about it. It's practically a shoo-in. You know, while you were up there, I just had a brainstorm.
What?
Now, first of all, I have to tell you, I hate to use friends for personal and financial gain.
Don't worry about it. Tell me.
All right. You have to think of me as a complete stranger, and I'm bringing to you a brand new idea for your publishing house.
Assuming I get the job and it becomes my publishing house.
That is a given. Now, the idea of this is that you can't think of me as a friend. I'm just someone who's walked in for the first time with an incredibly profitable idea. Got it?
I don't know what I've got, okay? But I'm willing to humor you.
Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. I'm Nick Hartley. You don't know me, but I'm a photographer.
You're not going to believe this. I used to know a photographer, and his name was Nick Hartley, come to think of it.
Kelly.
All right. All right. I'll play fair.
Okay.
How do you do, Mr. Hartley? I am Marie of Romania.
Charmed, I'm sure. Do you prefer Miss or Ms. Romania?
Marie will do fine, thank you. And she'll be a lot better once you tell me why you're here.
Oh, right. I have an idea for a book that's going to go to the bestseller list, and I want you to publish it.
Good idea.
Yeah, you like it?
Only I haven't started yet.
Hey, you stick with me, kid. You're going to get a raise on the first day on the job.
Okay, so perhaps, Mr. Hartley, you'd like to tell us what this book is about.
You can call me Nick. It's all right. I envision a photographic essay about brothers and sisters.
Are you kidding?
Well, yeah, yes. You see, I've seen how you and Eden and Ted, how you interrelate to each other. And I remember what a great relationship I had with my own brother and how we influenced each other's lives. Look, lovers, they come and they go. Husbands and wives, they're always getting divorced, but brothers and sisters, they last forever. How about the Borgias, the Kennedy clan, the Rockefellers?
The Wright brothers.
I'm talking the Dion quintuplets. The camera can show us so many of what these relationships mean. Look, I'm the guy to do the job. You're the woman to publish it. What do you say?
Right. Well, it's a very good point, Mr. Hartley. Nick, listen. First, let me get the job, and then we'll consider your book, okay? In the meantime, just leave your name with my secretary when I get one, okay?
Oh, okay. But don't forget, you could do worse.
Not if I can help it. Come on.
Well, how about a book about the brothers and sisters and their pets?
Come on, drive me to my interview.
How about aunts and uncles? Nephews and nieces?
I like children, you know that. I've raised two of my own, after a fashion.
You've done fine, Mom.
Well, thanks, darling. The point is, for Brandon to come into the middle of our lives like this, it's very disconcerting.
I think it's nice.
Nice?
All of a sudden, I became an aunt.
Nice?
Yeah. Come on, you'll get used to it. It'll be fun. Ted and I want to have children someday, so Brandon will break you and Daddy in as grandparents.
Wait a minute. Let me make this clear. I am not going to be that child's grandmother.
Come on, you'll get used to it.
Lakin, I brought you up to be cheerful and obedient and look on the light side of things, but right now, please don't, because we are facing a calamity here.
Mother, I don't know why you're getting so upset.
I don't like Brandon. I don't even remember him, but my impression is that he was remarkably ugly and very short, and it's just as if a witch had taken a toad and turned him into a grandson. I'll just be waiting for him to turn back.
Mother, that is terrible.
I know it is, and it's not for publication. It's just between us, and if you ever quote me, I'll deny it.
Come on. Have you ever even given yourself a chance to get to know him?
Certainly not. Until today, I thought all my children were present and accounted for. Guess I was living in a fool's paradise.
You'll probably love him once you get to know him.
I wish I had your optimism. All I can foresee is disaster and doom. I'm sure he has all of your father's terrible characteristics, and Cece's probably had lots of time to spoil him rotten. Lionel's going to find himself with a prematurely delinquent juvenile, and I'm going to be a prematurely gray wife, and he'll have no one to blame but himself, and Sophia, of course, he won't blame her.
Mother, you're making too much out of this.
It would be different if you were mine. You can love someone that's yours, even if it is awful. This way I feel as if I'd won something in a raffle and they won't take it back.
Mother, I think you're working yourself up into a frenzy for no reason.
Yes, of course I am, because your father decided to have a grandson in his midlife crisis. No, I am not going to live through this. I don't care what you say. Lakin, children. They're either coming to you when you don't want them or leaving you when you do.
Mrs. Lockridge,
Yes.
hello.
Hello.
I'm afraid the entire family is out right now.
Well, that's all right. I came to see you.
Well, then come in, please.
Thank you. Certainly is quiet. Well, you must feel like you're being barraged by Lockridges, Lionel, then me.
Well, Lionel was incredibly kind to me at the hospital this morning. I really did appreciate his gesture of friendship.
Yes, he's wonderful at gestures. Now it's my turn. You see, I'm very shocked by all of this, and I'm going to try to deal with it as best as possible. Now that we have Brandon as a mutual bond, we want the best for him.
Well, thank you. That's very kind. You know, I can't offer you a thing. This isn't even my home.
That's quite all right. I really don't want anything. I wanted to talk to you about a few things pertaining to your son. I mean, it must be very difficult for you being an anonymous mother.
Yes, it is. I told Lionel how hard that is.
And very painful to see a woman like Gina having sole charge over your son after those incidents, like with the pills and Brandon taking them by mistake and that outrageous affair with Mason. Well, I was absolutely shocked. I should think you'd sometimes just want to pick Brandon up and go running off with him. Has that ever occurred to you?
Ever? No. That always occurs to me. I almost took him away one time.
What stopped you?
The same thing that stops me from telling him the truth right now. Brandon is tied to Gina. He thinks Gina is his mother. It would be a terrible blow to him emotionally to change that belief right now. You see, Brandon is just now getting over the loss of his father, and to take away his so-called mother, I think that would be cruel, and I don't want to do that to my son.
You still want him back?
Oh, yes, I want him. But if I can't have him, if I could just go to sleep at night and know that he was safe and secure. But with Gina, well, all the time I feel he's in jeopardy.
Well, don't you think that if Brandon were told the truth, even though it would be, I don't know, wrenching for a moment, that he'd end up loving you more than Gina?
Oh, yes, I do. Absolutely. I know that. But the question is just how wrenching is this going to be for Brandon? And how long is it going to take him to adjust? You see, I have no way of gauging that. And I'm not willing to put my son's feelings on the line to find out.
Santana, you seem like a very loving and caring person. You've made an enormous sacrifice for your son. I think you should just go with your instincts. I'd give it some thought if I were you. Possibly leaving Brandon here could harm him more than taking him away. You never know.
You know, as tough as this week has been, I've enjoyed it, because it's renewed my perspective on the kind of person you are.
Can I have that?
Yeah.
What kind of person do you think I am?
I need a dictionary.
Wing it.
Well, you're very capable, you're intelligent, compassionate, extremely beautiful, a great lover, and you got a screwball sense of humor in there somewhere, although I haven't seen much of that lately, understandably. In a word, you're perfect.
I think you're kind of perfect yourself.
Kind of? What do you mean kind of? There's no such thing as kind of perfect. With perfect, it's all or nothing.
Well, you're all or nothing. Mostly nothing. I mean, all.
All, that's right. I'm all perfect. That's what you think of me. That's how you think of me.
I want your half.
Okay.
I'm gonna get time to think of you. And I haven't had a lot of time lately. I'm
Tell
sorry.
me about it.
Look, I'm glad you dragged me away from Jack. But sometimes I get caught up in, I don't have any reality of time or anything. And, you know, I think Jack's just like me. That's why he didn't have the consideration to tell me to rest like I do.
Yeah, Jack and you have a lot in common, don't you? I know that you're the heir apparent now, and with your daddy sick, you know, there's a lot of things you have to handle, but I really think that you should promise me that you'll make time for us, no matter how much business is waiting to be done.
I will. You're the most important thing in my life to me. And I get my strength from you.
That's right, don't forget. You gotta keep up your strength if you're gonna do a good job day in and day out.
I mean, that's what I'm worried about. I mean, I just don't know if I can pull through what Daddy and Jack expect me to do. I feel like I'm on a trial all the time.
Well, that'll pass with experience. I don't want you worrying about pleasing anybody. Anybody but me, that is. You know, actually, maybe we should practice a little more.
Practice what?
Pleasing each other. I mean, you know, we did a pretty good job a few minutes ago, but there still might be room for improvement. And who the hell invented doorbells anyway?
You better get it. Might be somebody important.
Okay, but don't you move an inch.
Okay.
Tony.
Cruz? Can I come in?
Actually, this wouldn't be a good time, man. I have company. Will you step out here for a second? Here you go. What is the DA's office want with me?
We have a special assignment for you.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe we could talk about it some other day. This is my day off.
I said a special assignment. It involves a little traveling.
I beg your pardon?
You're going to Mississippi. Pick up Harper.
The motorcycle killer?
That's right. Extradition has been arranged, and you've been selected to bring him back to Santa Barbara. We'd like you to leave right away, this afternoon, if possible.
Wait a second. You expect me to go to Mississippi today?
Came to tell you about this in-person cruise because time is of the essence. If you have any problems, I want to help you deal with them now so that we can get you going. We have a plane waiting. You'll stop at Houston, and then you'll go on to Jackson. I brought along the papers that'll give you authorization to take Harper into custody.
Did anybody think to ask me if I wanted to do this assignment?
You just said it. It's an assignment, not a voluntary mission.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you're going to have to assign somebody else because it's not convenient for me to go right now.
Convenient? Convenient? I'm not particularly interested in your convenience, Cruz. You have a job to do. We expect you to do it.
With all due respect, Tony, I can't make it, so I suggest that you pick somebody else.
You have been picked, Cruz, hand-picked, I might add, and I don't want to argue with you about what you're told to do.
So don't.
You take these papers and you get on that plane. That's an order.
It's an order I'm refusing. So where does that leave us?
You absolutely refuse to do this?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll be damned. All right, Castillo. It's your neck.
Cruz? I can't believe you did that. You could have lost your job.
Any job that's going to take me away from you on my day off. What kind of job is that? Come on, baby, let's get inside.
Hey, Brandon! How you doing? I have somebody right here I want you to meet. This is Mrs. Lockridge.
I know Lakin Lockridge.
I know, and this is Lakin's mother.
I knew you were small.
Well, most little boys are.
To be sure.
I gave Lionel a snapshot of him when I was at the hospital today. He thinks that Brandon might have his chin. What do you think?
Well, I hope it doesn't hold him back.
Want to see my rock?
Excuse me? Your what? Your rock? Sure.
Can I get down now, Sensei?
Yes, you can get down.
See? You can tell how old it is by the layers of rock inside.
Oh, well, it's Very pretty. Glad you can't see the layers of rock inside of me. What are you laughing at?
I think you're funny.
Oh, you do you? Well, don't try to charm me, young man. He shares Lionel's interest in geology and flattery.
Who's Lionel?
I have to go.
Bye-bye, Mrs. Lockridge.
Bye.
I can't believe you did that. You may have just lost your job.
No, don't worry about it.
But being a policeman is everything to you.
Not quite.
I guess not.
Might get kind of embarrassing, though, you know, with you being this fancy lady executive and everything. I could see me now coming to pick you up from work, and you'll be introducing me to your board of directors or something, and somebody will say, "What do you do, Mr. Castillo?" And I'll say, me, I look for work. And they'll say, "Oh, you mean you're with our executive search job placement program?" And I'll say, "No, brick for brains. I'm on the unemployment line."
Are you crazy?
I'm sick.
No, you're not.
But I think you could help me. Come down here and help me. Make me well.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Castillo refused to take the job? Even after that? I see. No, I understand. This means that I underestimated Castillo. I won't make the same mistake again. Thanks.